Happy Monday, guys. So, it is a couple days since I did a Talk video. Although Saturday I did my Pampered Chef kit stuff that came in for my daughter's party. And I watched it all. I'm getting ready to use it all. So far, the cleanse technically is over, the cleanse part. Now, every couple days, I'm going to reintroduce foods that I want to reintroduce to my diet. I've made a few decisions based on how I felt this week, and may not reintroduce some foods that I was eating, just because I don't feel like they're necessary in my diet, and if they're not helping me, then why am I eating them? Like, that kind of thing. So I think I'm going to try to, except for natural sugars, because I do like some fruits, and obviously you do need some sugar. I think any kind of like anything that's like a sugar added product, I think I'm going to just kind of avoid. And I've been trying to go less and less processed. Obviously, sometimes you just can't avoid that necessarily. I mean, you can, but there's just times where I can't avoid that. And so for those times, processed food is what it is. But I'm going to try to start learning how to make more things on my own so that I don't have this thing where I feel this need where I have to, have something that may be interacting poorly with my body. And during the cleanse, one of the things I've discovered and I've been using is a thing called the Bristol Poop Guide, I guess, chart. And I know we're going to talk about poop. Yay! Basically, your poop tells you a lot of what's going on in your body. And I did notice that for a while during the cleanse, I was falling in the need more fiber. And then once I started adding more fiber, everything got super normal again. Obviously, if you're sick, or for me, I don't know if other people, if it's that time of the month, which, by the way, hit me on Thursday afternoon, like a rock star. When those things happen, like, those are going to affect your digestion, so you really can't follow the guide during that time. But when you're just having a regular life, the guide is super helpful to find out what you're missing in your daily food. So I highly recommend looking that up. It's the Bristol Poop something. If you just put up Bristol Poop, it'll come up on your images under Google. So I am going to start reintroducing some foods into my diet. I never took peppers out because even though they're nightshade, I know I don't get a reaction to them. And so I'm okay with, that part of it. And overall, I think I just, they say you can do like every 2 days, add a new food. I'm going to extend that out so I can pay more attention to what my body's doing. So I might reintroduce like every 3 to 4 days. Because you can kind of decide what's best for you and how you can pay attention to your body. If you're somebody who's super busy, you may want to make it every 4 days. So you can start looking at how are you feeling? Do you have a headache? Are you feeling bloated? Because if you start feeling bloated when you reintroduce a food, it is a food your body is not processing correctly and it needs to go. And that may mean a food you really love has to go. And it is what it is. But so needless to say, that is something I recommend doing, is maybe extending out your window of reintroduction. So if you are somebody who does a cleanse and then reintroduces food, because it's really important to pay attention to inflammation, joint pain, tummy issues, poop issues, headaches, changing your cravings, things like that are all things that are affected by food. Also, your attitude. So if you reintroduce a food and you find you're more grumpy, you're more irritable, that is also a reaction to food sometimes. Now, granted, if somebody around you is being horrible and you're irritated because of that, own where that's coming from. But when you're doing a cleanse and you're reintroducing the foods, pay specific attention to each of these things and find out if your body just doesn't work with that food, because everybody's body is different. And to say, oh, well, nobody should eat X is just wrong. And so each person should find their own way. My personal opinion, and pretty much the opinion of everybody I know who's involved in healthcare. Well, except for doctors who seem to think that one weight works for everybody and one diet works for everybody because it's popular and they think their patient will do it because their friends are doing it. I mean, I get the whole mob mentality thing, but some of these diets can be very detrimental to different people's body types and body chemicals. And so I'm not all aboard picking a diet. I'm more aboard picking a lifestyle. So my weekend was pretty cool. My Saturday, I went a bunch of places and afterwards realized I literally had just walked for almost 3 hours. Granted, broken up between stores, but literally in 3 hours time, I was walking the whole, except for when we were traveling in between stores, which the stores are maybe a total of a mile apart. They're not far apart. But they're different parking lots, different mall areas, so it required us to drive in between stores. But we started off the day, we left the house, and we went to Bass Pro Shop. My husband needed to look for some arrowheads, which of course is you have to walk all the way through the store, go up the elevator to the second floor, and then all the way to the other side of the store to get those, and then back. But he didn't end up buying any because they wanted $50-something for arrowheads, and he was like, nope. And then we left there and went down to Hobby Lobby and walked around Hobby Lobby for a while because we left the house at 11 and my son got off work at 3 and we weren't home yet. So that's 4 hours. So that's pretty good. So we grabbed that, went to Hobby Lobby. I forget what we grabbed though. We did buy some stuff in Hobby Lobby. And then we left Hobby Lobby and we went up the road to get a car wash because our car desperately needed it. We've had a few storms and he cleaned off the roof and a bunch of junk got on the car. It desperately needed to clean. So we did get a car wash. And then we went over to Lowe's because I'm building, for this area that I work in, I'm building a sound dampener because I was thinking when we move, we're probably going to go to an apartment because the houses are a lot more expensive and because we're going to take a drop in pay initially until I start getting paid and then other things, unless something changes significantly with my working. Initially there is there's the possibility that our income will drop some. So we feel like our best idea is for the first year to rent an apartment in the area, which will save us a lot of money every month, and then look into buying a house once we're ready. That way we can find the right house, we won't be in a rush, all of that kind of stuff. So that's kind of how it's been. That's what we're going to do, but I also know with neighbors, I talk kind of loud sometimes, and when I teach, I can be very loud. And apartments are not known for being the most soundproof things. So we're going to build a surround for my workspace on my desk for when I work. It's going to have some sound dampeners on it. We're going to build a frame, fill it with some spray foam. And then we're going to board it up and then put the sound dampeners on it. So it has multiple layers of sound absorption, which should hopefully keep me from annoying my neighbors at 4 o'clock in the morning when I have to teach. Yeah, because imagine, actually with the time change, I'll be teaching at 4:30 here, which means when we get to Utah, I will be teaching at 3:30 in the morning. I'm sure my neighbors don't want to listen to me go, what are you doing? Yeah, I'm sure they don't want to hear that. So I'm trying to figure out a way to dampen it, make it so I won't annoy neighbors when we have an apartment. I'm going to try to, if we can get an end unit, great, because then I could put it on the side of the house that's not got neighbors and maybe be a little bit better off, but I'll have to see what happens. So there's that. And then we went to Lowe's, Michael's. was okay, like I had to get some boxes because I'm doing my health coaching. When somebody buys a full price program, I am including like a little gift set. So like I'll have like a 90-day plan goal planner for them to use for their progress for another 90-day program. It will have like a special water bottle. It'll have um if it's a female, probably like a face mask and maybe like a bath bomb or something like that in there for them. Maybe a little book of like positive, affirmations, stuff that's going to help them on their journey. So I wanted to pick up some boxes so that I had those, so that when I get a full paying client, I'm ready to go. I could just pack up a package for them, stick it in the mail, be ready for week one. They can be excited. I can be excited, etc. Um, and so I picked up 3 different size boxes for different programs, just to get started, just to have them on hand for when I get somebody that signs up. And then we decided to go over to Party City because when I teach my classes, I use headbands, and the kids love them. This one's from the Dollar Tree. And I was thinking, oh, Party City might have some. Well, Party City had some, but they had some amazing hats. So one of the hats I got is a Pikachu hat because a lot of the kids in China love Pikachu. And oh, it's all at the bottom, but I got a couple of ones like this to have like little ponytails. It's on the bottom, but I got a hat like kind of like this that's R2D2. Oh, sorry, I just hit my table. It's R2D2, and it's adorable. And my thing was, well, I need a winter hat anyway when we get to Utah because I'll be cold. But it's really cute. But I'll probably just use it for my classes. But the kids really love it, so it's whatever. But yeah, so there's that. So we did that. That took us longer to wait in line, and I have to say, the person I was before I started losing weight, the person I am now has changed so much. Part of it I attribute to changing how I look at myself and others in general with my weight loss. Part of it has to do with me changing my, aligning to a faith that I really connect with. Because there was a time in my life where when people, what's the best way to put this? Okay, say somebody's really rude. Normally I would say something or just, shoot them a dirty look or whatever. Yesterday I was getting into the line. I was right at the gate, and I stopped for a second, trying to make sure my husband was behind me, and literally 5-10 people come trudging down the aisle and push right in front of me to get in line ahead of me. Moved my cart to get in front of me. And this one guy realized I was in line. He was like, "Oh, I'm sorry, you can go." But he had one item, and I'm like, "You only have one item, just go ahead." At least he was nice, so I let him go ahead and because he had one thing for his kid. But these other people just literally moved my cart and went ahead of me. And I literally stopped for a second. I was ordering the way. They came around the corner after I stopped. They were not in line. They were nowhere near line, but they darn well took their spot. And the old me would have said something. The old me would have said, "Excuse me, you're cutting line." I would have been a jerk. And this time I'm just you know what? Whatever. I'm still going to get to the register. I'm still going to check out. There is no stress here. There is nothing to worry about. You aren't going to change these people. They're not going to change their attitude. They aren't, it's whatever. Let them do that. Let them be them. Whatever. And I was fine with it, and I was okay, and it was good. And, yeah. So then, we realized it was getting late. I'm like, oh my goodness, we gotta get home. It was 3 o'clock. We're racing to get home because we knew Kenny was getting off work soon. And, or maybe it was 3. It was after 3 because we were supposed to get off at 4. And I'm like, we have a limited amount of time. I hope he doesn't get off early. And then he messages me and is like, "Oh, I'm off." I'm like, "Yeah, well, we're on our way home. We went to Daphne." But I literally walked to all those stores for 3 or 4 hours. And, was doing well. I didn't, we went to Sam's Club too. and looked for, I wanted to get a weighted blanket because with my PTSD, I've heard weighted blankets will help me sleep better. So I'm really aiming towards getting one of those so that I can try that out. Um, Thinking about ordering one from Amazon because we went in there and we checked it out and they wanted $50. I found one on Amazon for 31, so I might just go ahead and pick it up from Amazon here in a few weeks. Because I didn't want to spend $50 on something that might not work. Like, it just doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me. Like why I would do that. So we'll see about that one. Um, and then we also yesterday things were just kind of crazy. I was kind of having a day because of my cycle, and you know those days when you just don't want to deal with life. You just not necessarily life, but people. And I was just having one of those days. I taught all morning, and the classes were okay, but I had a couple of kids that just kind of like were pushing the button a little bit further than I like. And I just said, you know what, I just can't right now. So Ruby Tuesdays was having a discount thing where you could get like a burger and a salad bar for like $7 something. Well, I noticed one of the things they had on offer was a grilled chicken breast. They had other stuff on it, but I'm like, well, I can order that. Tell them I don't want the bun, I don't want the cheese. Bacon's fine. Just basically give me the chicken breast and the bacon. That's all I need. And then get salad bar, which, I got a big salad. I got lettuce. I got some black olives. I got some broccoli, some carrots, some corn, some sunflower seeds. What else did I get? Just trying to think, because I think that was, I put 6 pumpernickel croutons on there. They were just small ones, just to add a little bit of crunch to it. And then I put balsamic vinegar dressing on there, which is the healthiest thing they had on there for dressing. I didn't put much. I maybe put like maybe about a half a teaspoon to a teaspoon. I don't usually use a lot of dressing. I just put on there for a little bit of flavor. I mainly put it on where the croutons were to kind of soften them up a little bit. Because I don't like super crunchy croutons, but I like croutons, if that makes sense. And then I also put on, I put on a half, like they have those like little grabbers. I put what looked to be about a teaspoon of cheese on there as well. Obviously, I don't know exactly how much it was, but on a specific meal, you're about 2 teaspoons or 2 tablespoons of fat is generally a good acceptable amount because your body does need some fats. Kind of wish they'd had some sort of vegan cheese option, but they didn't. And I really didn't see anything else that could would add like a different flavor to it that I could add. So I figured that was the better of them. I did add, I know it wasn't cheddar, I got mozzarella because it was lower fat. I asked them if the mozzarella was low fat mozzarella. And they brought out the bag and showed it to me and it was. So I was like, okay, cool. So I did get mozzarella, not cheddar. So I was going to get cheddar and then I asked them. But anyhow, so I had my salad. I was really happy with my big salad. Ate my salad. Got my chicken breast, which looked so sad on the plate because it was just the chicken breast and like the bacon. But anyhow, so I cut into the chicken breast. I thought, wow, this is really hard to cut. Now my husband's chicken breast, he's taking bites. He got this whole sandwich thing, and he took a bite, and there was like, how chicken like has like the fibrous area, like you could see where it's like pulling away, and mine looked like a piece of plastic. Like there was no fibers, there was no nothing. And I was like, So I tried to take a bite of it. It was like eating rubber. Well, our waitress didn't come back till everybody was done eating. And I was like, well, I couldn't eat my chicken because it was overcooked. And she was like, oh, do you want me to get you another one? I'm like, well, they're done eating. She's like, well, you go grab some more salad bar. And I was like, that's not the point. I ordered a chicken breast, like whatever. She's like, well, let me get you a manager. So the manager comes over and I showed him and he's like, oh yeah, it's really overcooked. Did you want another one? I said, I'm not going to make them wait for me. So I ended up basically just having my salad, which was fine. He didn't charge me for the chicken breast, but I was still disappointed because I really wanted a nice, chicken breast somebody else cooked, not me, for once. But I mean, it was whatever. And then we came home and I really wasn't hungry. Salad does fill me up pretty good long term. I really wasn't hungry at all that night. So we did make, I And I'm trying to tweak it because I haven't gotten it right yet. You take chickpeas and you drain them and you put them on a pan and you bake them at 350, turning them like every 10 minutes to get them crispy. And then once they're crispy, you add about a teaspoon of olive oil. You kind of mix them all into the olive oil. And then you sprinkle them with seasoning. Then you put them back in for like 10 minutes. And it's supposed to make like these nice little crispy snacks. Well, unfortunately, they just didn't get crispy enough, and I'm not sure what I did wrong. My husband did the olive oil, and I have a feeling he put too much on, is kind of what I'm thinking. Because I had dozed off, and he just didn't wake up and ask me. And so I think that might be what happened. I think we're going to start from scratch again today. Because I really want to make these. They're really healthy snacks. And I've heard they're really good. But I don't know that for sure, so we're going to find out. But anyhow, so that is what is going on. And I know this is a long one. Sorry, guys. Just, long weekend. A lot of stuff happened. And yeah, so again, I may not have a video tomorrow, but I will have one Wednesday. Tuesday will depend on if something comes up I feel like I need to talk about or if there's an announcement. I am going to try to go live tomorrow night. It seems to be a night that not a lot of people go live on, so I'm hoping that might be helpful. And I might make a video for tomorrow, and I might make that today. Because I did see a topic today on Zachary Michael's channel that I kind of want to talk about a little bit. So I might make a quick video. I'm not sure. But something might pop up tomorrow if I decide to. I'll probably make it today and just upload it today. When I upload this video, it just won't show up till tomorrow. And yeah, so definitely I will see you Wednesday. Probably I'm going to talk about this video I saw today. And I will see you guys later. Bye.